What's up, everyone? On this week's Quest for Tears, I am going to be continuing my Halloween October series with an Alien and Predator movie tier list. As I said, I am going to be ranking the Alien and Predator movie franchise, all the movies in the franchise, including the crossovers. These are some of my all-time favorites when it comes to sort of the sci-fi horror thriller genre. And I've seen them all. In fact, I just watched Alien Romulus the other day. So that was the last one I hadn't seen. And yeah, I'm going to just dive into it here in a second, but not everybody always watches to the end, but I'd like to have this be a little bit more interactive. So, I mean, hopefully you watch to the end, but I'd love to have you comment. I usually remind everybody at the end to comment, what are your S tier? In this case, what is your S tier Alien and Predator movies? I'm going to tell you mine shortly. And tell me your favorite and your worst, anything like that. I'd love to know. I'd love to have a little bit more community and discussion if possible. But that's up to you guys. If you just want to watch the video, then I'm going to get right into it now. So here we go. We're going to start off. I believe these are almost in release order from when they were released. But let's just start. Alien, the one that kind of started it all. So it's been a few years, but there was a point, I believe, when... I don't know which one it was, but there was a point when I watched all of these within a month or so, just to kind of have a refresher. And I'm going to tell you right now, as much as Alien started the whole thing, it is so boring. That's some of you aren't going to like that, but at this point in time, there is so much filler and so much just like, I don't know how to describe it, atmospheric time in it. They're trying to build stuff, and maybe that back in the day that worked, but the pacing is just so slow. Like, you could probably recut Alien into a 20 to 30 minute short film, and it would really jazz it up. It would make it a lot more tight and entertaining, in my opinion. So as much as it's the classic original that started it all, I'm going to put it, I think, at a D. And honestly, we aren't having an E rank. I don't do E ranks, so took care of that. Yeah, it's just boring. Sorry not to offend people, but sorry not sorry. Because then you have like this, Aliens, the sequel. It still holds up to this day. It's much more action-packed, much more entertaining, just overall a better movie. And I've basically discovered, I think Ridley Scott, he's the one that sort of started this whole movie thing. And you'll see as we get further down the list, but Ridley Scott's involvement in the Alien franchise, I don't think helps the Alien franchise. This one, I believe, was done by James Cameron, I think, and it's just vastly better, much better. Aliens it's A or S to me, and that is a little difficult to decide. I'll probably put Aliens as an S, I think. We'll see if it stays there, but that's just how much vastly better it is than Alien. Okay, well, moving on, Predator. Now we're jumping over to the Predator franchise, and personally, I think I might like Predator movies better than Alien movies, but yeah, this is the classic original Predator movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it does a good job. It's better as a starter movie than Alien is for a franchise. It's a classic Schwarzenegger movie, and oh man, these are going to be hard. I love this whole series for the most part, so it's like, is this also just an S tier? Honestly, I'm going to probably put it as an A. As much as I love Schwarzenegger and I love the Predator, if I was going to go back and watch a Predator movie, I don't know that I would pick this one. Little foreshadowing. But then we have Predator 2. So let's move on to Predator 2. This one had Danny Glover in it, and it was kind of based in a city. So, and by the way, I'm probably going to have spoilers to some extent. I'll try to keep it light, but I'm just pre-warning you, I might blab something about the plot lines. And here we go. So Predator 2, like I said, takes place in a city. Danny Glover, not your typical who you'd think as an action star, really. I mean, I know he was in like the Lethal Weapon movies, but this one, boy, it's not as boring as Alien, but it's not that great either. I've never really enjoyed it that much. So anyways, I'm going to put that at a C. I think that's where that's going to go for now. Then we have Alien 3. Now, I've really only seen this movie, I think, once or maybe twice at most. I couldn't really remember it a ton. I think when I was younger, I may have seen it or seen snippets of it, but for sure I watched it a few years ago, and I remember liking it. I mean, there's some cheesier elements to the special effects, but you gotta give a pass to some of that stuff for some of these older movies. I feel like I would watch it again. I feel like I didn't mind it, but I'm gonna put it at a B for right now because I can't like extremely remember all the plot points. I did try to watch the trailers of all these movies again just to get a little refresher, and if I remember correctly, I think Alien 3 takes place further in the future or something, or maybe it's right after Aliens. I can't remember. I think, yeah, these movies, it gets difficult sometimes to remember. You know, just so we can see here, I'm going to knock out this haven't watched also because I've watched them all. Alien 4, or otherwise known as Alien Resurrection. This one for sure takes place well into the future, and I believe Sigourney Weaver's character is like a clone or something, if I remember correctly. Now, this one was, I believe, written and directed, for sure directed by Joss Whedon, and I know he's not the popularest person lately. I think there's maybe some Me Too movement stuff, but I'm going to tell you, I think from what I remember, I've seen this a couple times. I really liked it. I've always liked Joss Whedon stuff for the most part, his writing and everything. So I would definitely go back and watch this. I was watching the trailer of it the other day and I was sort of remembering the different scenes and stuff. It's a little bit more campy, I think, but I liked it. I think I would actually put that as like maybe an A. It's going to be an A or a B, and that kind of all depends on how Aliens lands in the end. But I'll put it at an A because I think I really remember liking it. And that then moves us on to Alien versus Predator. So this is the big deal. They finally crossed over, had a crossover movie. And Alien versus Predator was a great one. So they find sort of this underground temple in the Arctic or something, and a team goes down there, Weyland-Yutani or something, or Weyland Industries, I don't know what it was. And they find they kind of stumble into a battle between predators who are learning to be predators, and the aliens are there as sort of they get breeded for the predators to try and hunt. It was a great action movie. I enjoyed it. The first crossover, I'm going to give that an S because I would definitely go back and watch that one for sure. And then that brings us to Alien versus Predator 2, or I believe they call it AVP Requiem a lot of times. I don't remember this one as much. I was watching the trailer for it the other day and I had very little recollection of it. It looks like it takes place more in a city or something, like a small town or something. I feel like it wasn't as good as the first Alien versus Predator. So I'm going to probably actually put it right here in this B category because I would probably rather watch it more than Predator 2. Predator 2 is pretty much the worst Predator movie, close to it at least, but I'll put that one there. I think B is a good spot. I would still go back and watch it, especially because I don't really remember it now, so now I'm curious. But then we have Predators. This is probably my favorite Predator movie. It was amazing. It's much more sci-fi. It takes place on a different planet, a group of basically prisoners, I believe it was, or something. I think they were prisoners, or yeah, I can't remember exactly who they were. They weren't like the best bunch of people. I believe prisoners. They get dropped on this planet. and they're starting to get hunted by the predators. And oh man, did this movie have some twists and turns, and I'll try not to spoil it, but the twists and stuff in this movie, top notch. Loved it. Not only did it have good action and everything and the predators and all that, it was great. Just talking about it now makes me want to go watch it. So that's for sure S tier. Love that one. Now we get back to Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott enters back into the fold, into the Alien franchise with Prometheus. Kind of teased around saying it wasn't really an Alien movie, but you come to find out in the end that it is the origin of Aliens, sort of, or whatever, like kind of the origin of it. I did not like this movie. I just felt like Ridley Scott had no concept of what anybody wanted in an Alien movie. It's just filled with a bunch of story stuff and story crap that I don't care about. Like, that's not what I want. I don't care about a ton how they were created. I mean, there's some interesting plot points and twists, but in the end, this was just bad. And in fact, I'm going to put it about as bad as the original Alien movie, which shows Ridley Scott doesn't even know his own franchise, because his 2 movies are in my D tier. I don't know. I feel like it had a lot of controversy at the time. I guess let me know in the comments if you guys liked Prometheus. I just didn't. Some of the characters were okay, but overall, when you're mentally kind of going into it thinking it's an Alien movie or related to aliens, it just falls flat. I don't know. That's me. I don't like it. I would, it's like not F tier. I would probably still watch it again if I was trying to do like a marathon type thing, but I would never like hand pick this movie to watch. So then that brings us to Alien Covenant. Is that what it was called? I can't even see it. It's so tiny. I think it was called Alien Covenant. But this is the next Ridley Scott movie that was a follow-up to Prometheus. It continues that story. I will say a little bit more into the alien stuff in this one, and it makes it better. But it still continues that Prometheus plotline stuff that I just didn't care for. You know, there's some interesting ideas. The whole idea of David, I believe was his name, the synthetic. I don't want to spoil a ton, but, you know, his involvement with the aliens is slightly interesting, but still overall, this isn't a movie. This isn't still like an alien movie that I would think to sit down and watch, but it was better. This is Ridley Scott's best try at an alien movie that he started and created. So I'll put it at a B. I'll give it a B. I might watch it again, just like I might watch Alien versus Predator 2 or whatever, Alien 3. I mean, honestly, I would probably watch Alien 3 and Alien vs. Predator 2 over Covenant. But yeah, that's where we're at for that. So then we have another The Predator came out. And I don't know, for some reason, this one sort of flew under the radar for me. I didn't see it right away. I don't know. I kind of like missed it, sort of. I was like, what? There's another Predator movie? I mean, it's called The Predator, so it was kind of easier to find. But this one, again, takes place more in sort of a city, smaller city setting. I think there's more military involvement in this one from what I remember. I don't super remember it a ton. I only saw it once. I do believe it was fairly entertaining. I would watch this one again for sure. I would watch it again above these ones. So I think I'm going to put this as an A, even though I don't super remember it, but kind of basing on like, do I want to watch again? Like, what's my, you know, thirst in a sense to watch one of these again? I'm going to put it at an A because I do think it was decent. From what I, you know, kind of vaguely remember. I watched the trailer again and I kind of remember. So the one thing I that distinctly I remembered even before watching the trailer was there's like this gigantic predator in it. He's like, I don't know, 10 feet tall or something, or more than 10 feet tall. He's just huge. And that was kind of like the monster predator. So that was kind of cool. And then we had this movie, Prey. I had no idea this was a Predator movie. I ended up I saw it advertised or whatever. It kind of like went under the radar for me again, sort of like the Predator, but This one even more so. This one, I did a little research or something after I saw it, or somebody said it was like there's another Predator movie called Prey, and I was like, what, Prey? Like I've heard of that movie, but I must not have seen the trailer or something. I don't know. I just didn't know it was a Predator movie. So as soon as I found out it was a Predator movie, I checked it out. It's kind of like if I remember, like a Native American sort of. Those are your protagonists, and this one's tough. From what I remember I remember it being a pretty entertaining movie until the end. And I think by the end, I felt like it got unrealistic in a sense. Like this, Native American female was facing off against a predator, figuring out how to it's kind of one of those, like, I've nothing against like female protagonists or anything. In fact, there's a lot of movies that I like with female protagonists. This one, I mean, half these Alien movies, or most of them, all feature female protagonists. That's sort of the staple of the series. The Predator movies typically feature more male protagonists, it seems. But this one, I don't know, it just felt like it's not that it had anything to do with it being a female protagonist, but it was almost more of just like the time period and stuff. Like, I don't know, I didn't buy it. Let's put it that way. By the end of the movie, I didn't buy it. So I'm actually put this one, is it as bad as Predator 2 though? Predator, like, I would probably rather watch Prey again than Predator 2. So does that mean I make it a B just for that fact alone? I think it's either that or I move Predator 2 to a D, but I would rather watch Predator 2 over these ones. So I'm kind of going in that way. And then that leads me to Alien Romulus, which, as I mentioned, I just freshly watched last night as of the recording of this video. And I really stayed clear of trailers or anything. I really don't like to watch trailers a ton because I just feel like they give away too much. So I never really saw a trailer for this movie or anything. I didn't have any idea what it was about. And so I was kind of going in blind. Whoops. And generally speaking, I liked it. It might be one of the best Alien movies. It's got, a younger cast and crew. If I had to guess, I'd say they're, maybe late teens, early 20s. And they're going on to a derelict ship, which is always the good plot setting for these types of movies. Nice horror atmosphere, thriller atmosphere, whatever you want to say. And yeah, some stuff happens and aliens are there and they got to figure it out. Yeah, it had some good plot points, some good nods to the entire series. It did have some nods to Prometheus and all that and stuff, but I guess I'll let that slide since that's apparently the part of the lore now. But overall, I think this is an S. I would probably watch that again. Of all the Alien movies, between Aliens and Alien Romulus, those are probably the best. I'd have to freshly watch Aliens again to really decide, but I might actually say the Alien Romulus might be the best Alien movie next to like AVP because I love the crossover. But I think that's it. I think that is my final tier list. I'm not going to change anything. So that's it. Yeah, that's my final tier list for Aliens and Predator movies. And let me know what you thought. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I said it at the beginning of the video, but let me know what your S tier is. Which ones are yours? And leave that in the comments. Do you have any F tiers? I didn't put any in F because I don't know. I just like these movies too much. Even the crappiest of them still aren't an F to me. I would still possibly watch them again. So that's it. That's it for this one. I have a couple more Halloween related videos left for the month. So look forward to those. You can know when I post videos if you hit the bell button. Like and subscribe to my videos as well. That really helps out the channel, help it grow. And share the videos too. If you know anybody who likes aliens and predators, share this video. And until next time, I will see you on the next Quest for Tears.